What's up, Knicks Nation? I know you got so many questions, but the good thing about tonight's show is I do have answers. We will answer. Are the Knicks the best team in the East? What about the double big lineup? Why don't we see more of it? I got an answer to that. Everyone talks about 40-point games. The Knicks with 9 to 10 40-point games. They lead the league in 40-point quarters. But what's their record when they have a 40-point quarter? We're going to talk about that and more on this Knicks in 10 show. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest, and you know the vibes, man. Welcome to the show. Tell a friend, we are live. Smash that like button on the way in. Hype the video, hit the hearts, do whatever you want to do. Oh, I forgot to go live on TikTok. My bad, TikTok. Next time. But salute to all the people that's in the building. I see my man Mellow Mike in here early. He said we live in 10 minutes. Why? I was anticipating this show. Salute to Maxine. I see you. Okay, I see the mods in the building. Salute to my man Michael. I see you. Salute. Who else is up in here? I want to appreciate y'all. This is a members only live stream. You know, I'm cooking tonight. I'm telling y'all, I'm cooking with hot grease. This is actually my favorite show. My favorite show is the Knicks in 10 show. By the way, the 82 Nights Journal, final call for the Cyber Monday sale, all right? Get 33% off. Channel members, you get an additional 20%. So definitely channel members, get your questions ready. If you're not a member, you still can participate. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Or you could just also become a member, okay? Now, trying to think. Oh, tomorrow we do got the call-up show. Call-up show returns. I'm just kind of like bummed out that it's the Utah Jazz. I didn't even watch their game tonight, but I did watch the game they played. Oh my God, who they played? The Rockets. That was a good game, but that Utah crowd, I mean, dead for most of the game. But salute to you guys as you enter. I see you, J Tap. I think that's all on the announcements. I'm gonna get to it, all right? Because I don't want you guys to wait much longer. So I'm gonna go to PowerPoint mode. Bam. So welcome to the Knicks 10 show. And of course, in this episode of the Knicks in 10 show, we're only going to be talking about games 11 through 20. So get that Charlotte game out of your head, right? I'm not talking about it. I'm taking you back to the Boston game, which was very disappointing, and all the games that took place before that, okay? So let me get my slide. Hold on. Get my slideshow up here on this screen so I could see it. Okay, bet. All right, so if this is your first time watching the Knicks in 10 show, basically we're going to be going through games 11 through 20, right? 10 games at a time. That's what this show is about. That's how I see a lot of you guys go game to game with it and you get outraged. No, I wait 10 games. That's how I analyze the Knicks. So that's why this show is important, right? We'll break down the overall record, comparing it to the past and seeing where we are and hopefully where we're headed. We identify the good wins and bad losses, right? We look at where we are in the standings, and I'm gonna get to that best team in the Eastern Conference question early as well. Performance, tone, key themes, and stats and more. Okay, so that's pretty much what you're gonna get on this show. All right, so right here, and I'm just gonna hide my camera for a second. So right here, this is the snapshot, the 10-game snapshot. So this is from the first 10 games, okay, of the season. You see, we were 7-3. and we had 2 good wins, Minnesota, Chicago, right? So I'm gonna fast forward to this past week. This past week, games 11 through 20. I mean, past week. This past 10 game stretch, I should say. We are 6-4. We have 2 good wins and 2 cup wins, both against teams that were sub 500. So a good win for me is when we beat a team that's 500 and above. Okay, that is a good win to me. 6-4. The Boston loss, I felt like very disappointing because we had the opportunity to really put our foot on the gas and really stamp the East because Boston's playing some good basketball and, they're a 500 and above team right now. It kind of took me off guard. I didn't think that they'd be this good. The way Boston's looking, they might be a top 6 team in the East, to keep it real. But we lost that game. It was a revenge tour game for them, I guess, trying to get us back, from what we, from us beating them up the second game of the season. And I don't have this on the screen, but I'll just tell you guys because I document history. So I'm going to tell you guys where we were last year in the 10 games. Hold on. Sorry, technical difficulties on the back end. I don't know why this is not popping up. Okay. I'm going to pivot. So I'm going to go to my 82 game list and scores from last year. All right. So last year, during this stretch, we were 7-3 from games 11 through 20, just to give you the heads up. And then we had 2 good wins. So very, very comparable, overall, we're better than where we were last year. Last year, up until this point, this year was 13-7. Last year, up until this point, we were 12-8. So we're a game ahead of where we were last year, which is pretty good. And I think that we're off to a decent start. And honestly, the 13-7 record is something that I said I think that that's going to be our record. I think we're going to struggle some nights. It's a brand new system, and it just made sense to me that we would struggle. Let me see if I can get myself back on the screen. Okay, cool. Yeah, don't worry about that. Them bottom teams, they. But this is the standings, right? If we compare this to the first 10 games, I just want to ask a question. To all my people that saw the first Knicks in 10 episode, when you look at what is my number one standing stat and which stat stands out the most? When you look at this, and we're going to, on this slide, we're going to answer the question, are the Knicks the best team in the East? Okay? But I'm going to get to that. But let's just go over some overall things. So right now, based on, well, of course, like I said, things have changed since the Charlotte game, but this is the first, the second 10 game stretch. So we're looking at the 20 game mark, and we're 4th in the East. Last time around, we were 2nd in the East, right? Or 3rd. Hold on, let me pull it up. Make sure I'm on point. Yeah, we were 2nd behind Detroit. So Detroit was 9-2. We were 7-3. We dropped down a bit. It's cool. I mean, it's close. I mean, it's too early to worry about your position, especially when everybody's within a game or 2 of each other. So this is going to change. As long as we stay in the top 4, up and down, bouncing around, I'm cool with that. Home record, we're the best home team in the East. If I could pull up OKC, I think OKC is undefeated at home, but I just want to just fact check myself on that. I think they didn't lose at home yet. I think they lost on the road. Yeah. So OKC has the best home record in the league. They're 10-0. But we're right behind them, 10-1. Very dominant at home. Very dominant. And I'm going to show you why in a second, why I think the trend will continue. But on the road is a problem. Huge problem. The 3-6 on the road is a huge problem. And it's not just for what we think it is. It's something, it's the undertones to the road record that really is troubling to me. But I'll get to that. And then in the conference, we're 10-7. Right. And honestly, when you look at the other top teams, you know, Detroit is 13-4, Toronto's 13-4, right? Cleveland's 11-8. You know, if we're the best team in the East, why don't we have the best conference record? So when they ask you, you know, are the Knicks the best team in the East? Well, when the question is posed, I want to know what's your qualifications? What's your standard for saying that? We're going to get to the rankings in a second, but right now, the Knicks, we're the best offense in the, well, in this stretch. Boston overtook us currently, right? No, did they? I got to fact check that. Either way, don't even worry about that. Right now, we've got the third best offense in the league, the best offense in the East, right? Because I'm focused on the first 20 games. Let me not think about the current state. So we got the best offense, right? What does that mean? Is that enough for you? Because we don't got the best defense, right? So, but we got the best offense. Does that make us the best? I'm gonna check the chat. Really, I'm gonna peek into the chat to see if y'all answered it. What stat? What stood out? Let me see if you guys answered it. By the way, salute to the members in the chat. Whatever questions you have, I'll try to get to it. OKC is tough. They have aspirations to repeat, coming out strong. They're on another, OKC's on another level. They're in a league of their own. They're so dominant. It's scary how dominant they are. Okay, Michael, you got it. He said, good point differential. Yes. 6.9 point differential. It's the highest in the East. The 6.9 differential is the highest in the East. Now, if you were on the first show, the first Knicks in 10 show last time, I don't have that screenshot up there, but I could read it all for you. I'm not sure. Michael, do you remember what our differential was the first time? Probably not. But in the first 10 games, check this. Our differential was 9.1. Our differential, it dropped. So it dropped about 2 points. 9.1 to 6.9. But the key thing about that first 10-game stretch was we had the best differential in basketball. Second place in the East, best differential in basketball. Fourth place in the East, best differential in basketball. I always say that this stat separates the boys from the men. I'm telling you right now, the team I'm looking at right behind us is not Detroit in differential, right? Miami, okay, Miami's definitely an interesting team. Orlando's another team, but Boston 4.1. If Boston gets that differential up to over 5, because on the first week, and once again, you guys don't have this in front of you, Boston's differential was 2.1. They had the greatest jump in differential out of all of the top, let's just say the top 8 teams. Everybody else differential pretty much either dropped a little bit or stayed roughly the same. So I'm watching Boston because they're on a tear. And that differential tells you, like I said, it separates the boys from the men. Detroit, they were 5.3. They got it up to 6, couldn't hold it. They're now 5.6. I'm not saying Detroit ain't for real. They're just not dominant. Like, okay, when you look at that West Coast, you can't see it on the screen, right? Oklahoma City Thunder is the first seed in the West. They got a 14.4 differential. And by the way, if you don't know what differential is, all it is the difference between opponents' points and your points every night. That's what differential is, okay? On the West Coast, Oklahoma City Thunder, hold on, let me go to the right week because that was the first week. Let me go to this week. Oklahoma City Thunder's differential is 15.3. Let me put some respect on their name. So they was at a 14. They got a point on their differential. Super dominant. They're in a league of their own. the Los Angeles Lakers is the number 2 seed. They got a 3.3 differential. And I don't honestly, the Lakers never have a high differential. They're just a weird team. Denver fell off a little bit. They were over 10. They're now 8.8. Houston is still a 10. I've got my eye on Houston on the West Coast. But the differential, that's all I'm trying to say, it separates the boys from the men. So another thing. So if you considering the best in the East, the Knicks consistently have the best differential in the East. That means that they're the most dominant team in the East. They're dominating their opponents, right? Let me give you the blowout number up until this point, because I don't think I'm gonna cover that. But this is, by the way, this is from the journal. Okay, this is a journal stat. Okay, so let me pull that up really quickly. So when you're talking about blowouts, okay, we have in this same stretch we have 10 blowouts. So 10 of our 13 wins straight blowouts. Dominant. So even if you say, oh, you guys are not playing the best competition, we're dominating the sub 500 teams. Pure dominance. And I'm gonna get into that later, but I just want to map this out because we're tackling the question. Based on what I just shared with you, would you consider these New York Knicks to be the best team in the East? Best offensive team, best differential. We also, when you look at the top teams, we also have the best opponent points per game, meaning that you talk about defense, we're limiting, even though we score amongst the highest, I think we're the second in scoring in the East behind Miami, right? But look at our opponent points per game, 113. That's amongst the bottom, the top teams in the conference. So these we talk about defense. We give a salute to the New York Knicks, man. The Knicks are playing defense. It just don't look as pretty as you want it. Oh my God. I got to see if I could pull this out. I got some stats. I got to see how I could deliver it because not everything is in the PowerPoint and there's a lot, but I definitely got some stats that I want to show you guys. I'm going to see if I have time. If not, I'll save it. Maybe I'll do a members only show on it if I don't have time. But definitely, y'all, let me keep this show moving. I'm gonna move on to the next slide. But that's the standings. Anything else in there? I mean, nothing really. 6-4 the last 10 games. We went over that. It is what it is. But we got the 2 big cup wins and 2 good wins. Oh, and also no bad losses. I forgot to highlight that. No bad losses. A bad loss is a loss to a sub 500 team. Okay. And I guess I'm going to get to that. Let me keep it. Am I going to get to that? Let me go back. Okay. Cool. I'm going to address it here because I don't think I'm going to get to it later. Now, not only do I got the above 500 records, which is, by the way, that's in the journal, the 5A, B8, right? Which is record against 500 and above teams and your record against below 500 teams. I could go a step deeper. So against teams that are sub 500, we're 9-0. So we're completely sweeping the board. Anytime you see a team that's sub 500, cooked. And the issue for us realistically is the above 500 teams. We're during this stretch, we're 4-7 against the above 500 teams, which is a problem. Huge problem. Now I'm gonna take it a step further. And this is why I'm realizing that it's not just the road record. It's more about we just are underperforming against 500 and above teams because our road record right now is 3-6, right? So you ready for the one of the stats of the nights? And by the way, this is an 82 Nights Club stat. We are 0-6 against 500 and above teams on the road. So that means the majority of the teams that we faced thus far on the road, right, were above 500 teams. And we're not winning in their building. However, on the flip side, at home against teams that are 500 and above, we're 4-1. So at home, we're beating them. On the road, we're not getting them. So it's a combination of the road is just harder, but we struggle against the 500 teams because let me tell you something. Against the sub 500 teams on the road, we undefeated. We 3-0. So we can win against the team, the bottom feeding teams. You give us a Charlotte, we're gonna smack them. You give us a Memphis, we're gonna smack. And you give us them teams that's under. The problem is the 500 and above. That's what I'm seeing right now. The 500 and above, we're really struggling. We're doing good at home because at home it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the home has become. I'm not sure if the players' wives is cooking for them really well. But yeah, let me move on. I just want to make sure I cover that because I don't think I would have got to that later. And there's a lot here. And honestly, like, I'm trying to like condense it. So it's a lot. But I'm trying to focus on the real pivotal stuff. So I already gave you the answer to the best team in the East. It depends on your preference. You guys have two arguments. When they ask you, are the Knicks the best team in the East? You can say, well, we got the best differential. We're the most dominant team in the East, right? We got the best differential. We got the best home record, right? And we got the best offense. So is that good enough for you for me to be the best team in the East? Yes, we know in the Eastern Conference, our conference record against above 500 teams is not the greatest, right? But at the same time, we got things we can point to. I think that is all subjective. And only time it really matters, because like if you ask me who was the best team in the East last year, I'm going to tell you the Indiana Pacers. You know why? Because they got to the finals. That's all that matters to me. I don't give a damn about your regular season record. Did you get to that finals? Yes or no? Can I keep my camera here? Okay, cool. I'm going to peek in the chat. Mellow Mike says, I truly believe we're the best team, but we don't play like the best team. And that's the unfortunate part. Yo, Mellow Mike, I'm going to keep it real, dog. I watched so much basketball. The Toronto Raptors blew a game at home against the Lakers tonight. By the way, the LeBron streak of the 10-point games is over. I witnessed history tonight over in Cook. I was half watching because I was preparing for the show as well, but it was cooked. And they did get the win, though. LeBron passed it. He could have probably forced a shot up to try to get his 10th point, but he passed it to, who was that? Was that Hachimura? He passed it to somebody in the corner. They hit the three. Nonetheless, the reason why I'm bringing that story up is because a lot of the Eastern Conference, let me tell you something, all the teams show have vulnerabilities, and they don't look like they're good. They're the greatest teams. I'm going to keep it Detroit. That goes for Detroit. That goes for Toronto. That goes for Orlando. They all, at times, don't look like they're the best team in the East. I'm going to keep it real. They all look vulnerable. Every single one of these guys. You put the Boston Celtics up against any one of these guys in the playoffs. I'm picking the Boston Celtics. I'm keeping it real. I think the Boston Celtics could beat any team in the East in the playoff series besides the Knicks. Yeah, I believe it. Boston, they're defending way better. They got that kid Cater. I don't know, man. Joe Mazzulla is a really good coach because that kid Cater is looking like Mutombo out there. So all the teams, Mellow Mike, I'm keeping it real. AP says, yeah, our record says we're not the best team. Okay. Boston was the best team in the East last season. How is Boston the best team in the J-Tap? You got to stop. How is Boston the best team in the East last season? They got bumped in the second round, and they didn't have the best record, dog. What are we talking about? How are they the best team in the East last season? I'm going to keep it moving. So some ranking and key stats, right? Now, It's a lot here. The yellow highlights is the good stuff. The red circle is things that I'm concerned about. All right. The red circle is things that I'm concerned about. I'm mad because I had a cool ass 3-point percentage stat. I don't know where it's at. I got too much notes. I'm mad. It was a really good stat. Basically, it was showing how well the Knicks play when they outshoot the opponent. I thought it was in the club. I didn't upload it to the club. I don't know where it's at. I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn. Anyway, nonetheless, it's just mad stuff on my brain. Let me just keep it moving. So the light blue, that's bad. Yellow is good. Now, if you notice, there's a lot more yellow on the screen than there is blue, which is a good thing. Even on the defensive side, there's some yellow. And I'm going to try to get to that. But I'm going to pull up the last 10 games because there's some things there that I wanted to address in looking at this and making these comparisons. Now, I'm gonna start with the obvious. Right now, Mike Brown, he has these guys dedicated to shooting more threes and consistently, we've been, getting them up there, but we're shooting a lot less threes. Not a lot less, but our 3-point attempts has dropped from 44 to 41.4. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Our attempts also dropped by 1.5. We were at 17. Now we're at 15.5. We're still top 5 in 3-point attempts and 3 points made, but we dropping a little bit. Now, 3-point percentage is my biggest concern because we started out shooting 38% from 3. No, 38.5% from 3. We dropped a whole percentage point. And we're shooting less threes. Normally when you shoot less threes, your percentage should go up, especially if you're a good shooting team. But our percentage dropped slightly. I'm going to keep my eye out on that 3-point percentage because if it slides some more, we need to take less 3-point shots. And you see the blue, I have it right next to it. We need to take more 2-point shots, man. Last year, 2-point shots. Let me try if I could get that on the screen. Last year, 2-point shots, or at least I could just look at it on my end. Hold on. But we were so good at the 2-point shot, it was like an underrated weapon of ours last season. And it's just like this year we became so preoccupied with the 3-ball, it's like we neglecting our 2-point game, right? We had guys like Mikal, Josh Hart, they all were shooting really good from 2-point percentage. But now, it's kind of dipped a bit. Let me see if I could get this on this side. So, yeah, last year, 2-point percentage, right? We ranked number 12 in the league. Okay, I guess it's all right. Maybe I overdid that a little bit. But, okay, it's kind of simple. To be fair, it's not too far off ranking-wise. I'll give us a pass on the 2-point percentage. Because it's kind of similar now that I'm looking at the numbers. It's kind of similar. No, I'm bugging. I'm looking at the wrong year. My bad. No, it's not. Hold on. So I know I looked at this. Let me see. So last year, okay. So all right. So here's the big percentage I'm gonna let slide. But last year, we took about 5 more 2-point shots. Here we at 50. Last year we took 55, and we were 6th in 2-point attempts and 3rd in 2-point makes. Now you see the huge drop off. We went from 3rd and 6th to 21 and 19. So yeah, if this 3-ball is not falling, because last year we shot about 37%, under 37%. It's like we're inching our way close to that under 37% mark. If you start shooting less threes or worse at the 3-point line, you're going to have to take more 2-point shots. And I'm gonna give you a stat. I'm gonna go to the club. Right. Of course, I can't take you to the club. You have to be a member to be inside the club. Nah, but to be fair, the club is almost done. So it's not even, so even if you was in there, you wouldn't be in there because it's not done yet. But here's a key stat that is very important for us, right? Points in the paint. So anytime the Knicks are plus, we meaning that we get more points in the paint than the opposing team, and we make it our duty to attack the paint, we are 9-1. And that, a lot of those nights is when the three ball is not falling. So I need to see more of that. Points in the paint, mid-range opportunities. You got Josh Hart, you got Mikal Bridges, you got some guys that are elite 2-point players. We need to see more of that. And, you know, we'll see. Because this team could get really hot. So they could just, this three ball could go back up. But I'm watching every 10 games. And this is what I'm looking for. Another thing, too, that is kind of worrying me, guys, I'm going to keep it real. The free throw percentage is it's a little concerning, man. It's a little concerning. Let me tell you why. Now, yes, we always struggle with the attempts. Even last year, we wasn't getting the most attempts up, right? I don't know what it is about the line. You know, we just want to shoot. Okay, cool. That's cute. But my issue is where you see the circle is, you see the free throw percentage is just under 80%. Last year, even though we didn't get to the line a lot, the free throw percentage was a major key for us last year, right? Last year, we finished at over 80%, right? This year, we're trending downwards because during the first 10 games, we were at 84%. Now we're under 80%. We're just under 80%. I mean, if you round up, it's 80, but I got my eye on the free throw shooting. Now, I know Mitchell Robinson has something to do with it. And, oh, my God, wait till I get to Mitch. Oh, boy. But, yeah, I got my eye on the free throw percentage. The rebounding is incredible. I'm surprised the defensive rebounding dropped a little bit. You know, I thought that the defensive rebounding would stay up, but nah, that's just being a stickler. To me, the opponent rebounds, you guys can see it on the screen here. The opponent rebounds are more important than your rebounds because, and I'm going to give you I'm going to get to the DRMD. I'm going to get to that stat later, but if you can out rebound the opponent, that usually leads to a win, and I'm gonna show you why later. But nonetheless, very dominant on the glass, and Mitchell Robinson is helping with that, especially on the offensive glass. This is the one area I have to give Mitchell Robinson props because last year we were not a great offensive rebounding team. This year we're averaging 14. Last year we were averaging 11. So I got to give Mitch, because Josh Hart Towns the same. The one big difference you would have to say is probably Mitchell Robinson, right? So rebounding is great. Now the steals number is something that is not the worst, but I thought it would be higher because I'm watching these guys get steals. I'm like, damn, I thought we would at least be top 10 in steals. When I looked at this, I said, damn, we 19th? Okay, I take it. I got my eye on it. And the assist number, we dropped a little bit. We almost dropped an assist a game. We were averaging 28 assists in the first 10 games, and then now it's dropping a little bit. And assists are always a key. Success to a key to our success. Team assists. I'm gonna get to Brunson assists in a second, but I got my eye on the assists. I think it should be higher. I think the steals should be higher. Turnovers is great. Points is great. Fouls is great. We don't send teams to the line. I mean, we do a great job in that regard. Opponent's field goal percentage is not that bad. Okay. We 47% from the field. Last time around, teams were averaging 47.8. So we're doing a little better opponent field goal percent. I take that. Right? Because if the opposing team is not shooting well, and then we could get this defensive rebounding number up, hey, that'll help our defensive rating. Right? Now, the 3-point shot is crazy. Now, I'm not going to put this on the screen. I got too many stats. But the Knicks actually do a decent job protecting the rim. They're not as bad at protecting the rim as you think they are. So the issue with the Knicks is this. You know what? Let me see if I can get this on the screen. Give me a second. I'm going to try to get this in the screen so y'all can look at this. Because I was looking this up because I read an article and I put this in the Discord. Salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. If you are a channel member, you need to get inside that Discord server. But it was an article that came out talking about how the Knicks don't do a good job protecting the rim. So I went and looked it up. I'm like, all right. So when I looked it up, I saw this stat. It's hard to find. Now, some of these stats, y'all, is hard to find, even for me, Statmaster Miyagi. That is my tagline. I am Statmaster Miyagi. But let me get this on the screen for y'all so y'all can see this. Hold on. Let me get the window right. 1 second. I just realized I could share my entire screen. Okay, that's good. I might need to use that feature later. But let me show y'all this. Let me jump into research mode, right? Definitely smash that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, you can still participate if you're not a member, and hit that like button. So I stumbled across this, right? And I got another stat too that talks about the rim, their what do you call it? The field goal, the opponent field goal at the rim percentage. I got that too. It's roughly, it's good. It's like we're top 12 in protecting the rim in terms of opponent percentage. I couldn't believe it. So I'm like, yo, Mitchell Robinson is making an impact. I'm going to give Mitchell Robinson that credit because Mitchell Robinson does a good job protecting the paint. I don't think he plays enough minutes. That's another topic, and I might get to that a little bit later. But I'm going to show y'all this. So this is the opponent. So you can see that this is not your shooting. This is the opponent shooting and overall opponent shooting. Okay, you see that? So less than 5 feet, Oklahoma City Thunder is the best team in basketball, right? They're the best. 55%. And look at the Knicks. The Knicks is right here. Yeah, we give them 64%, but we're not all the way down here. We're in the top half. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo. And hold on, let me make sure. Hold on. This is not the right range. Let me get the right range. All right. Because we're not looking at the entire season. So let me make sure it's in the right range. This is why I didn't want to pull this up because I didn't have it prepared, but it's all good. I'm gonna get it right now. So I think this is the range I want right here. Let's see. What happened to my? Oh, okay. Duh. Hold on. Let me go back. This is the 11th, and then make this the 1st. Pow. All right. So we got the field goal percentage. And so look, this is the last 10 games. So you seen that we were doing 64%, 62% in the 10-game stretch that we're talking about. Right? That puts us near the top 10. And this is baskets within less than 5 feet. Less than 5 feet. Okay. But look at the trend. I want to show you how the trend, right? Because this is why I call it stats with context. So let's go to 5 through 9 feet. Let's see if the Knicks continue to be in the bottom half, right? And look, so when you look at the opponent field goal percentage, right? The Knicks is like number 2 in the opponent field goal percentage from 5 to 9 feet. I'm like, damn. So we like top 10 in less than 5 feet and number 2 in 5 through 9. It's pretty damn good. Let's go further out. Now you start to see the Knicks kind of slide back a little bit. 49%. Pacers 54. Okay, cool. Let's go a little bit further out. See the Knicks start sliding back. 47%. All right. Still in the top half. But let's get the 20 to 24 feet out. And you start to see the Knicks amongst the worst teams. Hold on. Make sure I got this right. Right. No. I'm sorry. Look, the Knicks are amongst the worst teams here. See that? 47, 60. All right. And make sure I get this right. Wow. Yeah, so the 10 to 14 feet, Knicks is amongst the worst team. See that? So we do a good job 9 feet in. So that's with Towns at the 5, Mitch at the 5. We do a good job opponent field goal percentage. But when they start get further out, that's when we become this terrible. That's when it just becomes bad. So I don't know what Mike Brown has to do to address this, right? But it just when you get to the 3-point defense, it's just you start to see the Knicks. Yeah, we same thing, top 10. It's something about the 3 ball. And by the way, this is within the 10-game stretch. If I had the whole shebang up there, it's worse. During this stretch, we did a little bit better. But bottom line is, the perimeter is more problematic than the inside. Believe it or not. I don't know how many of y'all want to believe that, but I deal with stats with context, bro. It is what it is. Cause look at the 2-pointers attempted and made. See that? Opponents is 4 and 1. Oh, my fault. Let me go back. It's 4 and 1. We're fourth in 2 points and first in 2 points attempts. People are not taking that much 2-point attempts against us. Now, we're not doing the best job defending in terms of the percentages, but that's cool. I take that. That's because you've seen on the chart that the further out, the more shots they hit. So 2-point shots is not just the rim. It's also mid-range. But we're not sending teams to the line, which is great. Talked about the rebounding. And we're not drawing enough fouls. That's something else I need to do better. Also, we need to turn people over more as well. It's another thing I'm looking at. The last thing I'm going to talk about here, I already talked about third-ranked offense, 14th ranked defense, but our pace still doesn't get better. Why isn't our pace better? Why can't the pace get faster? I told you guys the answer already. I told you guys that the reason why our pace is slow is because we're a dominant offensive rebounding team. So now I want to show you the numbers that corroborate what I'm saying really quickly. Let me get these numbers up there. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me get these numbers up there. Meanwhile, let me peek in the chat. Salute to my man, Jose. The Knicks have mid-elite shooters, in my opinion. You said mid-elite shoot. That's kind of like contradictory. You can't be mid and elite. Can't be mid and elite. I think we got some good shooting. I think we got good shooters too. Let me see, my Knicks as a team, decent 3-point percentage. We're not great. We're not Golden State. We need to get the ball inside and go to our strengths. Well, Mellow Mike, our strength right now isn't the 2-point shot. Our strength right now is the 3-point shot. We still top 8 in 3-point shot. We struggle with 2-point shots and percentages. So to say that that's our strength, I don't think that's I think that's a bit disingenuous. Right now, we've been shooting the lights out. It is what it is, bro. Can't say that, we're not shooting well. If they had snipers, I'd be more okay with 43 pointers a game. But with Josh Hart is shooting excellent, J-Tap. Josh Hart as a starter Josh Hart is shooting incredible. He has one of the best three-point shooting percentages on the team during this 10-game stretch. He's shooting the lights out. I don't want to hear about Josh Hart shooting until he starts missing shots. So look, I'm going to show y'all something, right? Let me see if this is what I want, though. What is this? This is points in the paint. Oh yeah, I had a point I wanted to prove with that too, but oh no, I want to do pace and rebounds. I want to show y'all this in real time. My bad, yeah. I gotta do better at getting my complicated, not my complicated, but my intriguing stats together. Because I had some other stuff I wanted to share. I'm mad that I can't find it. But anyway, nonetheless, so this is pace, right? So right now, pace is what we're filtering. So we're one of the slowest teams pace-wise in the league, right? So a lot of you might say, well, damn, it looked like they playing fast. What's going on? Because we're a dominant offensive rebounding team, and I got the number right here, just to show you. Oh, my fault. I'm okay. I'm in research mode still. You see the rebounds? You see how dominant we are? Look right here at the bottom. At the bottom of where the team misc is. You see our offensive rebounding percentage is number 4. That's the reason right there why we're slowing pace. And I'm going to show you in real time. Hold on. Let me get back there. All right, let me get back there. So, I got too many windows. But anyway, so when you look at the pace, right? But look at this. Offensive rebounding percentage. If you look at the teams that have the best offensive rebounding percentage, look at their pace. The Houston Rockets, 98 pace. Right? Portland Trail Blazers. Detroit. Look at some of these teams in their pace. Not the fastest paced teams. Because they do a good job on the glass. The more offensive rebounds you get, the slower your pace is going to be. That's just the way it works. The Boston Celtics, all the teams that are not the fastest. So I'm not saying to not be a good offensive rebounding team. It's just that when you get offensive rebounds, it extends the possession. It's going to hurt your claim for pace. Now you do got some teams that have faster pace than us, but it's still not the fastest pace. You know, Portland's the only team that was on the list that has a fast pace. The rest of these guys, they're not in the tops. They like midway or towards the bottom. It just hurts your ability to play. But it doesn't mean that these guys are not playing or not, moving, not, getting fast possessions. It's just that they're extending it. Just that simple. I just want to show you that. Let me get back to my PowerPoint. I think I'm going to move past this slide. I think I hit everything I wanted to. There's a lot more, but I'm going to keep the show rolling. So, yeah, now I'm going to get into some of the fun stuff. And I'm going to move a little faster. But, yeah, so Brunson and Towns. So I got some stats. When they both score 20 or more, the team is 6-2. When they both score under 20, they're 2-2. So this is why the two-man game is important. We need to institute a real two-man game. I'm tired of seeing them be apart, be separate. They need to be more together. The more they work together to both achieve their goals and get over 20, like, honestly, they would have one of the best pick and roll duos in basketball. I'm not sure if it would be the best because there's some really good ones out there, but it'll be among the best. They're a threat to do everything. Brunson can shoot. He can drive it. Towns can shoot. He can dive. They can do everything off pick and roll. Towns needs to watch his fouls, right? Because sometimes he's setting screens. He's a charge bully. But, man, we got to figure out a way to make sure these two are tandem together, because the Knicks are more successful when they both are hitting, their numbers. And also, plus minus, right? The Knicks are 3-4. By the way, hold on. Let me just fact check those numbers, because I think the under is off. Let me see if I could find the under really quick. I'm going to peek in the chat, too. Let me see what you guys saying. I would like to see Cat playing out the elbow on both sides. I would love to see it. But to be fair, Cat has been playing more back to the basketball recently. Especially, I like that. I don't know if this is Mike Brown. I don't know what it is. But Towns is going to that block when he see them little dudes is on him, whether it be off the dribble or things. So, okay, yeah, I correct myself. So when it's under, it's not 2-2. When it's under, it's 6-4. Okay, so they're a little bit more successful when they work together. And by the way, in the last 8 games, they have a plus 3.4. Okay, plus 3.4. Let me keep this moving. Now, Brunson, this is his solo scoring impact. A lot of you guys always talk about Brunson dribble. The next slide is going to answer that a little bit more. But when you look at this, someone could say, and let me just move my camera. Someone could say, well, damn, Brunson, he needs to score less. Because look, he gets 30 plus, they're 4-4. He gets under 30, they're 7-3. Part of the reason why that is because usually when Brunson gets 30 plus, is because the rest of the team ain't doing nothing. So now he has to put on his superhero Batman cape, and they get cooked. They just don't win the game. Right now, in close games, by the way, going to the journal, by the way, 82 nights, okay? I know, yeah, he continues to plug the journal. I'm just saying, hey, I actively use it. So our record in close games right now is 3-5. 4-4. Corroborates. He is in a position where he has to help a sinking ship. And then usually when he gets under 30, that's when he's getting more participation from the others. Now the under 20 usually is because the other guys are rolling. That's why it's 3-1. But we still successful with him doing his thing. 20 plus, I think, is the sweet spot, because 20 plus, and you've seen it here, 20 plus, he just got to make sure when he's getting his 20 plus, this guy Towns is getting it, because we're 6-2. So he just got to make sure Towns is getting his. Towns, that needs to be his focus more so than anything. It's not about the dribbling. It's about he and Towns. When they're both on fire, the Knicks usually win. Now, this is for my dribble people, right? Initially, when I pulled up this stat, when Brunson had 9 plus assists, the Knicks were 2-0. And under, it was, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. I don't remember the under. The under was bad. It wasn't a positive. I don't got the under in front of me. So I don't feel like looking for it right now, because I'm cooking. But my has the tables turned. When Brunson gets 9 or more assists, the team is 3-2. So all my people that want Brunson to be a traditional point guard, we don't thrive when Brunson is a traditional point guard. But when he gets under 9 assists, we're 9-4. Now, I know y'all gonna be like, wait a minute, but Brunson has to pass the ball. That's not what I'm saying. What happened in this last 5 games was you had another ball handler, playmaker on the floor. And his name is Josh Hart. Boom, I got a new slide for you. I didn't have this slide last time. This is Josh Hart's impact in the last 10 games, period, but more specifically the last 10 games. So anytime Josh Hart scores over 10 points, the Knicks are 9-3. When he's under 10 points, the Knicks are 3-4. As a starter, he started the last 5 games during this stretch. I'm not counting the Charlotte game. He was averaging 17.4 points, 10.8 rebounds, 6.4 assists. He has been taking the playmaking reins away from Brunson. That's why Brunson doesn't have to get all of the assists, because the ball is moving even when Brunson is not playing like Steve Nash. This is one of the reasons why Josh Hart needs to start. When Josh Hart is in the flow, 9-3, he's averaging that as a starter. That'll give you the 10-point mark. Josh Hart needs more minutes to be more effective. It's clearly it's not something that's for debate. Also, as a starter, with the Knicks, Josh Hart is now 4-1. I know they won last night, so I'm not even going to count that, but the Knicks are 4-1. Look at the plus-minus impact. The reason why I'm going here, because I'm going to get to your guy, Mitchell Robinson, next. Dum-dum-dum. Uppercut in the spikes. Salute to all my Mortal Kombat fans. You guys remember the uppercut in the spikes? I'm comparing Josh Hart to Mitchell Robinson. All right? And I want y'all to see me as I talk about this. Hart's plus-minus impact in the last 10 games. So in the two-man lineups, I think the two-man lineups, I like to look at them. Josh Hart and JB is a 6.4 in the last 8, because, Brunson missed 2 games in the last 10. Hart and Bridges, plus 3.9. Hart and Towns, 2.2. Salute to you guys that's been around a little bit. That number is significant to Hart and Towns, because I'm comparing it to the double big lineup. Because Josh Hart is starting in Mitchell Robinson's place. How many of you guys remember that Hart and Towns plus minus, when we last checked, it was 1.8? How many of you guys remember that? Do I got that stat in front of me? I definitely. Ooh, I found it. This is a stat I found. I was looking for this. It happened to be in front of me. That's crazy. So the last time I did this number, right? Josh Hart, the plus minus was 1.8. And check this out. Mitchell Robinson and Towns was 2.1. Hold that thought. So I'm showing y'all the value of Josh Hart. He's super impactful. That's why he was my Knick of the week. The numbers speak for itself. Let me get to the double big lineup. Right? I know I'm getting pressed for time right now. Let me get to the double big lineup. So this is Towns, and let me move my camera. This is Towns and Mitch. This is Towns and Mitch. When they start together, the Knicks are 5-4. Josh Hart and Towns together is 4-1. When the double big lineup does not start together, whether Mitch plays or not, doesn't matter. When they're not together, they are 7-3. The Mitchell Robinson and Towns are better apart than they are together. Last time we didn't have enough minutes to show that. Guess what? Now we do. In the last 10 games, the double big lineup, in their little 7 minutes they play together, they're minus 1.9. Josh Hart, this is why I had the slide here. I'm doing this for the double big lineup. Josh Hart and Towns in the same stretch, it's a plus 2.2. Josh Hart needs to start. This is why Mike Brown made the change. I don't have more information than them. In my mind, I'm trying to rationalize why they're not playing the double big lineup more. clearly it looks good. They're +2. -1.9. That's why you need to play this lineup against the second unit, and that's why he plays it in the fourth quarter now against the second unit. Not against the starters. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. So you remember how so all right, y'all might say, well, damn, that's just Towns. What about the other guys? What's Mitchell Robinson's plus minus with the other starters? Remember, I did Hart. Hart and Brunson was 6.4, right? Mitchell Robinson and Jalen Brunson play 7 minutes together, and it's a -0.4. Mitchell Robinson and Mikal Bridges, right, play 12 minutes together. It's a -0.3. So even when you look at his two-man lineup plus minus with the other starters, the same ones that Josh Hart did in the same span of time, Josh Hart is outperforming Mitchell Robinson. Those combinations. That's why Mitchell Robinson is not starting no more. That's one of the reasons. It's just not working. He had to get demoted. So salute to my man, Knicks will be champs 25-26. He put in the Discord that Mitchell Robinson was a 4. I'm going to tell you what his plus minus was throughout this stretch. Let me see if I can get this on the screen. I know y'all going crazy right now. Don't listen. This is stats with content. Don't get mad at me, bro. Don't get mad at me. I'm just sharing with you the numbers that I looked at because I told y'all I was tracking this stuff. I track it every single 10. I didn't do this every game. I'm not going to wait for the one bad night when Mitchell Robinson don't look good, then put the plus minus up there and say, see, I told you. No, I'm going to give you 10 games. I'm going to give you 10 games. Last time we checked this plus minus with Towns, it was a +2. How did it go from +2 to -1.9 in this stretch of time? It's not working. That's why Mike Brown made the change. Let me show you. Hold on. Because I'm cooking right now with hot grease, y'all. This is what I do. I'm the objective fan. I don't have an axe to grind. If the plus minus was double big lineup +10, I'd be cheering for it and saying they need to play it more. It's not that. So you can't get mad at me and make me want to make the stat something that is not. All right? It's just not it. It's not it. What do you want me to say? Hold on. Let me see. Do I got a Knicks joint up here? No, that's Knicks Boston. Hold on. Do I got a Knicks joint? All right, I gotta do it on the fly, y'all. Bear with me. I'm gonna try to end the show soon. There's a couple of more things I need to go through. I might skip some stuff because I like to keep this within the hour's time. But it's a lot to this show, man. It's a lot to this show, and I'm mad I don't got the 3-point stat. I'm kind of tight over that because that was a really interesting stat. But I'm gonna show y'all now. We're gonna just look at the plus minus. So right now, Mitchell Robinson, he's a +2.8. That's just overall. Relax. I'm gonna segment it. Just relax. Don't lose your cool. +2.8 is not the greatest, but it's not the worst. Let me keep it within the range that we're talking about here. So that'll be the 11th to the 1st. All right. Let's keep it in the range that we've been looking at. Okay. So during this stretch of time, Mitchell Robinson overall plus minus dip. He's a +0.5 during this stretch. What's going on with Mitch? I don't know. But Josh Hart is a 4.7 during this stretch. 0.5. All the other the two-man lineups I told you guys about. I didn't make this up. My fault. Hold on. I don't think I can see it. My fault. Hold on. My fault. I wasn't prepared to share this screen. Let's see if y'all can see it now. But yeah, he's a 0.5. See that? I didn't make this up. I know it's a little smaller, but I didn't make this up. It's not my system. This is NBA.com. All the stats I'm sharing with you guys right now, you can find on NBA.com if you know what you're looking for. Nah, it's not everything. Some stats you got to get this for. All right, some stats you got to get this. Yeah, they don't got all my like my 5ABA. That's me. They don't got that. The DRMD, they don't got that. That's all me. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but there's certain stats that I look at that you ain't gonna find it nowhere else. You got to come get that from me. But anyway, nonetheless, that's what Mitchell Robinson's doing. All right. So I gave you an answer why the double big lineup they went away from it. Don't be mad at me. Get mad at Mike Brown. Don't get mad at me. I'm gonna look in the chat in a second. I know y'all going crazy. I just deal with facts and stats, bro. But I don't just throw stats at you. It's stats with context. I kind of went over this. We 4-7. Yeah, I talked about this earlier. Hold on, let me mute my camera. Just get the camera out of here. I talked about this earlier, so I'm gonna skip this. I also told you about the home and road. I'm not going to spend much time on this slide, but salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. By the way, if you are a channel member in the chat and you're not in the Discord server, you are missing out. I see my man Michael. He said, "Damn, that's shocking." Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here answering the questions. Stats with context. But look, we talked about this before. The third quarters, first quarters. Third quarter is the third quarter lead. Leaving that third quarter with a lead is the most important quarter of all the quarters. When you watch the Knicks game and you see that they're losing that third quarter, yeah, there's a great chance they're gonna lose the game. But if they got that lead going into the fourth, you see this here, especially if there's a sub 500 team like last night against Charlotte. I knew that game was over as soon as the fourth quarter hit because we had a lead. And we're 9-0 against sub 500 teams. Now 12-0 against, when we have the lead going into the fourth. It's just too many things working in your favor. So this is why I be telling Michael, right? You see basketball, I see numbers. So when I'm watching the game, I know all the stats, the key stats, and I'm like, yo, why they not dominating the rebounding matchup? Matter of fact, I didn't do a game review for the Charlotte game, but there was a stretch in the game where Charlotte was on the little run. Charlotte was dominating the glass. As soon as the Knicks turn up the rebounding, that is over. And then was able to match the output because I think they finished with the same amount of rebounds. Nonetheless, bottom line is I see numbers. The third quarter is the most important quarter, but I did add to this the second quarter, okay? So we're 11-3 when we were leading after the second quarter. So second quarter is important too. Getting off to that good start, super important. You know what? I'm gonna throw this stat in here too. How many of you guys remember the 40-point quarters? 40-point quarters. Yo, the Knicks got the most 40-point quarters. But let's see if it really matters. All right, so I went into the 82 Nights Club and I added it there because I wasn't tracking 40-point quarters before. And that's the beauty about being a part of the, getting the journal and being a part of the club. I will always add stats to it. Especially like when something pops up, like the 40-point quarter. So anytime the Knicks, right, they had a 40-point quarter in a game. Now, one of the games they had in two quarters, they had 40-point quarters. But when we get one, we're 7-2. So most of the time we get the 40-point quarters, we get a W. When we don't get the 40-point quarters, our record is 6-4. No, 6-5. So I don't know if we got to just light them up. I'm just telling you right now, we got the best offense in the East. Dude, if we're firing off at all cylinders with a lead going into that fourth, none of them teams will be able to catch us. The key thing is about getting off the good starts, especially in the second quarter, right? Stats with context. Let me keep it pushing. Some more stats. Of course, you guys know we had 3 NBA Cup games these last 10 game stretch. By the way, we still talking about games 11 through 20, just in case you joined and you're like, what the hell is going on? I'm talking about games 11 through 20, okay? NBA Cup 3-0, Revenge Tour 3-0. right? We doing good on the revenge tours. Well, at least for this stretch, not overall because we're 3-1 overall, but I'm just focused on this stretch. DRMD dominating the rebounding matchup differential. That's a stat I kind of coined that stat, and that's basically us when we dominate the rebounding matchup, getting more rebounds than the opponent. We're 10-3. This stat is like very important. It was very important last year, and I think it's probably even more important this year. When we lose the DRMD, we're 2-2. I even have the tied number. I'm not gonna pull that up just because I want to keep it moving. 3-point shooting. Okay. So anytime we shoot greater than 37.5% from three, we're 6-1. So to all you guys in the chat that's like, oh yeah, I want us to go to the basket. I'm telling you right now, if we are firing at all cylinders and we just eclipse 37, forget 40%, we get 37.5% from three, we're gonna win the game. Because more than likely you might get a 40-point quarter. It's all tied in. We are an offensive team that can play a little bit of defense, but we are an offensive team. That's who we are. Embrace it. I know this is New York City, and they told y'all, you got to be like Patrick Ewing and Anthony Mason. Them days is over. I hate to break it to you. Today we got Towns, who wants to shoot 30 feet out. It is what it is. He is the best shooting, even though he don't look like it, he is the best shooting, big man of all time, at least from three. You got Jalen Brunson, who's super efficient. You got Deuce McBride. I mean, Deuce McBride is on one of the most incredible runs. But I'm telling you, shooting runs. I'm telling you right now, we got shooters on this team. From Deuce McBride to Landry Shamet to Mikal Bridges when he wants to shoot. OG Anunoby, one of the best corner shooters in basketball. Towns, the best shooting big man in NBA history. Josh Hart is shooting well over 40% for the month of November. He's shooting well over 48% from three during this 10-game stretch. Who else? What other shooters we got? Yabusele, he can shoot. Yabusele don't get an opportunity, but he was shooting 38% from three last year. I saw him in Eurobasket. He had a 30-point game that was just all effortless. It was like 8 threes. He was killing. Yabu could shoot threes. We got a lot of 3-point shooters on this team. You guys are underestimating your abilities as a shooting team. You got shooters on this team. The only person that can't shoot, Mitchell Robinson. I don't want to take a double on Mitchell Robinson, but he's the only one that can't shoot. Everybody else in your rotation can shoot, especially now, Josh Hart now. Now, will Josh Hart continue it? I don't know, but he's shooting really well now. That's all that matters to me. I can only deal with what I'm dealing with now. I can't deal about last year season. Okay? So some more stats. This is some more opponent stats. Free throws, important. If we keep the opponent under 21.7 free throws, we're 5-0, right? So, it's keeping them off the line, and that's what we've been doing. And this is a recipe for our defense, our defensive success. And opponent 3-point percentage, I mean, this is a huge problem. Opponent shooting 37.5%. I'm sorry, when they shoot under it, let me clarify. When they shoot under 37.5%, we're 8-3. But when they get above it, they're 5-4. That's a huge problem. 3-point shooting, it's an issue. If you see teams lighting us up from three, yeah, there's a pause for concern. Right? It's definitely a pause for concern. Let me just make sure. Did this. All right. I think I covered everything. So I'm gonna get to players' grades and then I'm gonna wrap up. So guys in the chat, I'm gonna look in the chat. I know I've been moving. But because I'm trying to make this show fast. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is Knicks fans in a hurry, but I be taking my damn time sometimes. This is the player grade. So I wanted you guys to tell me in the chat what do you give these grades. I just want to look at some of these chats. Cause I oh my God. Michael said toasty. Oh my God. I don't see the usual suspects. Where's my Mitchell Robinsons? Where's J-Tap and and Knicks would be champs. I wanted to see what comments they would have real time. I guess I got to deal with it in the Discord server. By the way, if you are a channel member, and you're not in the Discord server, go to the membership section. There should be a Discord link in there still. I'll add one tonight if there's not. Melo says we're gonna die by the 3-point line. I don't know about that. Because I'm not saying that they have to shoot more 3-point shots. I'm saying they're efficient. And only way I would say to come off the line if they're not, shooting the 3-ball well. But they're shooting the 3-ball. They shooting the 3-ball well. I mean, what more do you want me to say? Until they're not shooting the 3-ball, Mike, we got shooters, man. You can't ignore. Matter of fact, you know what? Because Mike is my man. I'm gonna hold on, let me get this on the screen. By the way, hit that subscribe button if you are listening to this. I'm giving you stats that you probably not gonna see nowhere else for the most part. Yeah, everything the plus minus, that's all NBA.com, but stats with context. The context that I'm putting to it, I don't know if you're gonna find it. Because you might see a little article, they might tell you a little percentage, but are they putting the right context on it? I don't know. So let's keep it in the last 10 games. I just want to show y'all the 3-point shooting this is what you got in the last 10 games. Miles McBride, 45%. Landry Shamet, 41%. Jalen Brunson, 41%. Josh Hart, 39%. Mikal Bridges, 34%. Well, that's not the greatest. And Yabu, 33%. But you got Yabu, Mikal, all capable shooters. Tyler Kolek shoots better than that. You got guys that can shoot, bro. Now, Jordan Clarkson, he's kind of streaky. He's definitely streaky. But they all can knock down the shot. And remember, here's another thing, too. It's all about paint and spray threes. So the threes that we're getting are good threes. We're not shooting bad shots. They just don't be making it sometimes. But we get a lot of open threes, bro. Because you got two players that are just virtually unguardable, especially if Towns focused on his craft, bro, he would be amazing. But this is the last 10 games, right? If I put the season, I don't want to go there, but we got a lot of guys that can shoot the three. Right? And we don't even got OG back. Remember, OG got hurt. The only one that can't shoot threes is Mitchell Robinson. So I'm not saying to shoot more. I'm just saying, we got to see what the percentages are. But I'm curious to see your grades. Oh, okay. J-Tap is here. Okay. He said, I'm here listening to those slanted numbers. So J-Tap, did I slant the numbers? That's what I want to know. Did I slant the numbers? Don't blame me, blame Mitch. Don't blame me, blame Mitch. He's the one that his plus minus plummet. Don't get mad at me that Towns and Hart and all of them got positive plus minus and he has negative. Don't get mad. I didn't make that up. I just pointed it out. No, Mellow Mike, one thing I'm gonna say, this is why I brought up the points in the paint record, because that we do get to the paint. We do make an initiative to get to the paint, especially when the 3-ball's not falling. That's one thing I would give this Knicks team credit for. I would even say we are a complete offensive team. I don't think we have any weaknesses on offense. I'm gonna keep it real. We can score from all the levels of scoring, right? We got multiple scorers. We got probably one of the best, the highest scoring starting lineups. I didn't check that. I will next time. The starting lineup, the reason why I didn't pay too much attention to that is it's been changing. So I need to see a more, next 10 games, consistent starting lineup. So I don't really want to look at the entire starting lineup numbers yet because it's not consistent. But I can compare Josh Hart to Mitchell Robinson. We got those numbers. I didn't make it up. I didn't slant it. But what are your grades, though? What are your grades? I gave Jalen Brunson an A-. The only reason why he's not an A or A+ is because the Boston Celtics game. That's the only reason why I dropped him. Jalen Brunson, to me, was solid every night. That Boston Celtic game just brought him down. That brought him down an entire grade mark. Brunson is leading the charge. He was Eastern Conference Player of the Week. He is the captain. I call him JB 4.0. I still think he's the best point guard in the East, even though Kay Cunningham may have something to say about that. I think that he's incredible. I still think he's the best clutch player in basketball. It's just that the Knicks don't really get into much clutch situations, right? Which is basically 5-under-5. Nonetheless, man, let me tell you something. That man, he is your closer. He can protect the lead in the fourth quarter. I give him the A-. Josh Hart, I give him an A. Josh Hart is a complete A. He was my Knick of the week, even when Jalen Brunson was Eastern Conference Player of the Week. I feel like Josh Hart just completely steps his game up, and he's doing it on multiple ends of the floor. It's not just shooting threes. It's not just his improved scoring. It's not just his improved playmaking. It's the whole shebang. He's heart and hustle. Even his defense, he's putting in the effort. He guarded Giannis Antetokounmpo, said he knew he was going to beat up, giving up about 8 inches in the matchup, and he still held his own, even though Giannis did play well. But in key moments, in key games, he helped get stopped by just being hustle and hard. So Josh Hart gets the A. I think he's the only A. Landry Shamet is a B+, only because he got hurt. Shamet would have been an A or A-. Shamet is having one of his best seasons, and I think Landry Shamet, great news with the shoulder sprain, and I'm rooting for him. Mikal Bridges is a B+. Mikal could have been an A-. I just feel like he's just not scoring enough. I thought that he could turn into a good third option right now in the 10-game stretch. Mikal Bridges, he's averaging the same, 16 points per game. And his deuce is Josh Hart. Those guys, Jordan Clarkson, those guys stepped their scoring up. So that's why I just gave him a B+. Though I think his defense is elite, and I love what he's doing on the defensive end, but it's incomplete. He would be an A if his offense would have been up there a little bit more. Deuce McBride gets an A-. I just said it. His shooting improved. In terms of his scoring improved. He's doing a lot on the floor that this team needs. I mean, 45% from three. He's shooting incredible. He's defending well. He's guarding the point of attack, taking the pressure off of Mikal Bridges. He just looks really good in the starting role. And I mean, I feel like they got a hard decision to make when Shamet and OG gets back. Who's going to go to the bench? Man, it's a good problem to have. Mitchell Robinson, I'm going to give him a B-. I feel like Mitchell Robinson would have been probably a B+, had his plus-minus not slipped. And the fact of the matter is he got demoted. You know, once you get demoted, it just takes away from everything that's going. He's only giving me 17 minutes a game. And I think a lot of it is on him because his agent is playing a role. Now your agent represents you. So I don't think Mitchell Robinson wants to play much more. Whether or not he's saving himself for this team or for his next team, I don't know. But Mitchell Robinson, he's definitely been somewhat of a disappointment. B-. OG Anunoby gets the incomplete because he didn't play much games. Karl-Anthony Towns a B+. Even though he did step up his scoring, he's +2 in points during this stretch. And he's definitely looking to attack the paint more, especially since his three-point shot is not falling. I do think that, there's another level that he can go. I need him to be up to 24, 25, and 13. He gets up to that, he's definitely an A. And I think that he possibly will get to that point during the next 10 games. We'll be monitoring him. But that's the only reason why I can't give Towns more, because I feel like he can still do more. Jordan Clarkson completely stepped his game up. Coach gave him more trust, playing him a little bit more consistently, bring him in the first quarter. His shooting is not the greatest, right? He's not shooting the most optimal numbers. I mean, 27% from three, but 46% from the field for Jordan Clarkson is good. I take it. He's doing more than just shooting threes. He's attempting 4.7 a game, but he's also can mix it up when his shot is not falling. He looks to get to the basket. He's getting just under 2 free throws a game. And I think Jordan Clarkson can be more than a B, but he's going to have to be more consistent with his shooting. And also defense is another reason why he's a B. Jordan Clarkson's playing really good defense. I love the fouls. I love the fact that he's fouling people, because fouling people means that you're giving an effort, right? and you're a bench player, so I don't really care how many fouls a bench player gets. Gershon Yabusele, I gave him a C- last time. I'm giving him a C+. Even though he hasn't really shown much, he definitely towards the end of the 10-game stretch was getting more minutes and time. His 3-point shot still not there, 33%, but he hit some shots, and I'm curious to see if Yabu can get more time before OG gets back. But once OG gets back, I do believe his water will be cut off. I think OG and Anunoby will be the consistent power forward on this team. He will be getting the bulk of his time will be at power forward. Josh Hart at the small forward with Mikal, and I just think that's how they're going to run this ship. So Gershon Yabusele has limited time to do what he has to do. That's all for the player grade. I'm curious to see what if you guys had a player grades. I didn't do the rest of these guys like Tyler Kolek. I mean, he's not getting enough minutes. He only played 6 games during this stretch. He is getting 12 minutes a game, but 6 games for me is not enough. I need to see more. I try not to grade somebody with 6 games or less because it's just not fair. Just like Ariel Hukporti, 6 games. What am I going to grade him? He's not getting enough time. But I think that's it for the presentation. Oh yeah, I got the storylines. Where we at in time? I guess I could highlight some of the storylines. I mean, a lot of this stuff we talked about it on the podcast. Knicks had the best offense in the East. Knicks bench continue to struggle, generating consistent scoring. But the bench struggling is crazy, and I'm gonna give you a stat on that on the way out because I got a 82 nights. The 82 nights. Hold on, let me make sure y'all see me on camera, man. The 82 nights, baby. I'm saying go get your copy now. This week inside the Knicks.com. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But when we're talking about bench points, here's the crazy part. So with all the injuries that happened, it completely decimated our bench. Our bench was at one point in time one of our strengths, and I'm going to show you why it has now become, something that is, I'm not going to say it's not as important, but, I'm tracking the record performance when the team achieves greater than 37.5 points. That's the average for the league in bench points. So I'm tracking to see when we get more, when we get less. So anytime the Knicks bench, right, has less than, so I'm going to give you the point where it shifted. So back on, if you look at that Miami game, right, the Knicks bench at the time when they got less than 37.5 points, they were 3-4. When they got greater than 37.5 points, we were 6-1. So that was the magic of the bench. Then from there, it dropped to 6-2. And now, because we don't have a bench, we've been winning despite not getting 37.5 plus points from the bench. The last time we got 37.5 points plus was against Orlando. We did lose that game, but that was back on the 22nd. So every game since that point, the bench has failed to even get above 30 points, let alone 37.5 points. But because we were winning games, our record is 7-5 when the bench fails to get to that point. But the bench, I mean, it's curious to see, how long we can continue to get wins with the bench not scoring well. OG Anunoby, hamstring injury. He's close. We got news that he's close. Jalen Brunson, he's quick return. He only missed 2 games. Knicks dominate the weaker teams, but show mixed result against 500 plus opponents. Facts. The Mitch and Towns pairing is underperforming and still lacks clear identity and good plus minus. Mike Brown publicly acknowledged that he was wrong for not. I forgot that I supposed to put not. I put starting. No, he was wrong for not starting Josh Hart. That's all the storylines, man. I want to thank you guys for rocking, man. Salute to everybody in the building right now. I see you, Mellow Mike. He says Knicks better find a way to get Hukporti minutes because they're going to need him during the season, but most of all in the playoffs. Mellow Mike, I think a trade's coming, and this team is not going to be 100% the same. I think it's going to look different, and I think that players like that, depending on who they get, probably won't matter. Jordan Clarkson been playing great ball, even though he's definitely is doing the best that he can defensively and limited. Yeah, the defense, I'm impressed with Jordan Clarkson's defense. I think that's what I'm impressed with most about Jordan Clarkson. Do we could grade the if you want to grade the Knicks as a whole, I haven't done that this year, but I can add that to the mix. If I'm grading the Knicks as a whole, I give them a B. Only because they got the 2 cup. What saved them is the 2 cup wins and the 2 good wins, and no loss to bad teams. So I give them that. But on the way out, I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. Continue to hit the like button. Continue to subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you are a subscriber, consider joining the channel. Not just so you could be a part of the chat, but just so you can get some of the perks that you get when you become a member. One of the things you get is a discount on this thing right here, the 82 Nights of Basketball Fans Companion. You can get yours right now on thisweekinsidethenix.com, pretty much the website that's listed below here. And actually what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to touch on this slightly for the people who may not be familiar with what the 82 Nights Journal is. I know you guys might have heard me bring it up for most of the show, so I'm going to have to pull it up for you. So, bam, back in the research mode, and you can see we're on the website. When you click on the 82 Nights Sports Journal, you get 2 options, right? Well, let me just refresh this. Bam. You get 2 options. And like I said, this is the final call for the Cyber Monday deal. It will be going away. So if you didn't get a chance to take advantage of it, too bad. Channel members get an additional 20% off. Now, look, we got 2 options. We got the hardcover edition, which is this one right here. This baby right here is the hardcover. You got the soft cover, which is on the shelf. And you can get, select what you want. They're both the same on the inside. It's just the hardcover, the hardcover gives you a little bit more durability and easier to write on, but it's all the same materials, same quality. I'm using this one. I'm using a soft cover. This is where all my notes and stuff. You see the page, you see the paper hanging out of it? That's how you know I got notes all over the goddamn place. Anyway, so when you get this journal, man, it comes with 12 components, right? It's more than just a stat tracker and journal. It's honestly a basketball fan's companion. That's not just a subtitle. It's a great way of describing it because I literally take it with me everywhere I go. If I know it, I gotta, like, if I'm in the mechanic shop, I just take the journal with me so I could just go over certain details, see if I could notice certain patterns. I look at the game notes. Of course, within the 12 components, you got the game notes, you got the stats, right? The 82 game list and scores is a place where you can pretty much get this snapshot. Let me show you guys. I like to show this because this is what created the journal. You see this right here? This is what created the journal. It went from this to this, right? And I basically would have these all over the place. So I say, yo, let me put all of this together. But this right here pretty much is your season snapshot in front of you. It tells you the record, the date you played the opponent, home, road, score, NBA Cup record, close game blowout, good win, bad loss, series record, and A5. Well, I removed the A5, B5 from this section, but on here I had the A5, B5. So you get all of that here just by looking at this page. So in your journal, this will be 2 pages. Games 1 through 41, games 42 through 83. So you get that. You get the season reflections page, the season prediction page. You get the top 10 games page, players to watch for. If you see somebody, like I saw somebody on Utah, I think the kid name is, I wrote it down. What was the kid name? Clayton? Something Clayton? I'm like, well, the kid is nice. He played defense. He could shoot. And these rookies just got so much confidence. Anyway, there's a section in the journal called players to watch. So anytime you watching the game and you see a player that you don't know, you just write it down in the section. So that way, like how I just had to recall it, I wrote it down somewhere. I was plugging the journal. It's in the journal. All right. Now, on top of the 12 components that you get in the journal, you're also going to get access to the 82 Nights Club, which is an online platform that hosts your cheat code, the NY cheat code for all the Knicks fans in the house. I pretty much will be journaling with you. I have all of the stats that's in here in the in the club and on the website, and you could check it out. And so you could just look at what I'm posting and put it in the journal, and it's like we're journaling together. And there's going to be more additional add-ons, and then cheat codes, just all types of good stuff when you join that 82 Nights Club. I just honestly wrapped up the final tutorial videos. I was having fun recording that. So yeah, man, you get a lot with it. So that's what you get when you buy the journal. It's the final call, y'all. Cyber Monday, 32% off. It's going. So you better get your copy now if you want it at that price. And then to really send this home, another thing I'll do is I'll just go to the YouTube, and I want to talk about the channel membership, man. So, joining the channel is definitely something that you should strongly consider. Not only if it's just to be a part of this chat, you know what I'm saying? Salute to my man BS10258. The three is a part of our offense, as much as I hate to admit it. Facts, BS102. This is why I love my man. That's Knicks will be chance, by the way. Now I'm gonna always call him Knicks will be chance, and that's why I like him, because he always will admit, or he will accept something that he may not agree with. He just goes with the evidence. So I salute him for that. That was a boss thing to do. Anyway, let me keep it moving. So I just want to talk about joining the channel. No Giannis tonight. This is the Knicks and 10 show. No Giannis tonight. No. All right, I'm talking about joining the channel. So they could be like some of you good folks in the building. Salute to all the hosts. This is a members only live chat, right? So I do this from time to time, so the members can be here, right? So we can have good conversation, and I could move through the content fast, even though this show is a little longer than I want it to be, but it's all good. It's a lot of stats, a lot of important stuff that I had to get out. So to be a part of the members only chats, of course, you have to join the channel, become a member. Not only that, you get priority reply. So anytime you write a comment on something that I post, I will get to it, right? Because the members show love to the channel. So I got to show love back to the members and make sure I get to their chats. Now, we also got a fantasy basketball league. The Knicks Tape Madness Cup is going on right now. I'm in a heated battle with my man, HRM the Great. And, it's fun. And I do things like that all the time for the members. There always will be random things that'll pop up. And, make sure you get up in there, become a member, right? I got a lot of members only exclusive content, unfiltered thought. I think I'm going to do one tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow night, because we got the call-up show tomorrow. But get a discount on merch, which includes this, 82 nights. So members could, y'all could, I'm not saying to wait, but y'all gonna get a discount on 82 nights. So become a member, man. What more do you want me to say? But there's more. There's a lot that comes with it. But it's not just a donation. You're not just going to get the membership just to donate. You know what I'm saying? You get the membership, because you want to support, and you get access to more content. But on the way out, J-Tap he's dying right now. He's talking about Giannis. No, we're not talking about Giannis tonight. Jose said Giannis ain't on the Knicks radar, not for now. Yeah, I mean, he's on nobody's radar. He's got to deal with that sprain. Nobody gonna trade for him. Well, I shouldn't say no one. I doubt someone would trade for him right now with the ankle sprain. I mean, with the calf sprain. Jordan Clarkson actually has been playing. Okay, I read that. But I'm gonna salute to y'all, everyone who was in the building, all the subscribers that's tuned in, all the channel members, all the mods. Salute to all you guys. Crim's dad was here early. Sherwin. Salute to Maxine, AP, BS10258, Michael, Jose, J-Tap, Mellow Mike. Salute to all you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. That's all I got for you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We got the call-up show. And until next time, as always, let me get the soundboard. I got to get the soundboard for this. As always, go. Yeah.